This is yet another VFX breakdown on how I made my latest video. Here's how I did it. So the first thing I did was go outside for once and record some footage. This surprisingly took quite a bit of time to get the take I liked the most, and I recorded a lot of takes.
Bro, what are you doing here?
After recording my footage, I can now throw it into Synthesize to 3D track the camera movement. There are lots of different ways of doing this, including After Effects one-click solution, but I prefer Synthesize because it allows me to fine-tune my 3D track so I can make it more accurate. Now that I have this 3D tracked, I can now throw it all into Blender. Since I filmed this video at the same location as my other Rec Room video, I just yoinked the lighting I made for that project and tweaked it a little bit to fix a slightly different sun position. Then I threw my Rec Room character in the scene and created the name tag in Photoshop that took way too long. Then I plopped that image on top of my character using some object constraints. After that, I attempted to recreate the watch menu by creating a simple rectangle mask and some nodes. I like how it turned out, but it turns out you couldn't even see it that well in the final video, unfortunately. Now that this basic scene is set up, it is now time to record the mocap for my Rec Room character. I threw together an insanely basic Unity project a week prior that records your movements, and I ended up using that. But you guys can use the software I found called Mocap Fusion. At this point, I can now import the mocap data into Blender, and then I created a simple watch menu opening animation. And I spent quite a bit of time tweaking the position of my head and torso due to my very janky setup. By the way, I won't be going too in depth about how I even made the Rec Room model due to reasons. Also, I animated the hand to the pointing position when the watch interface was open. It is now time for the final step, the face. And shout out to my friend Roby for letting me use this face rig. Actually animating this face was a tad tedious, but I ended up making it work. I was now finally done with my project in Blender and I rendered the video overnight. But that's not the end yet. I imported the footage into After Effects to do a little post-processing. And I created a very basic mask around the shadow to tint it blue a little bit so it would be more accurate compared to the other real shadows. And that's how I did it. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through, and have a good day.